Okay, my name is Herman Barkemeyer. I'm 92 years old, and I'm a twin.
Well, I'm Alvin Gross, and what I mean to the library is that I'm a very good recipient of books from the library.
What is your name?
Oh, okay, Ruby Hoag.
Nice to meet you.
I used to be Ostertag, so that was my maiden name.
But outside of that, I've had a bit of history in library, and I guess the first one would be to say that I was a patron of the very first library in Barrhead when our class was moved into Barrhead when I was in grade 8.
And my mother went to be a housekeeper at Cochrane for a rancher, and he was from Scotland. And he had a library, all these books, and they were from England. G.P. Rather's sisters sent these books. And I just decided maybe I should get into some of them. He had one son, Tommy, and he was a reader. Well, that's where it started. We moved 2 or 3 times and came up to Barrhead. They had bought Camp Crew store. And the first thing I wondered where I could get some books. The library then was an old schoolhouse. And we'd go there and get some books, and that started it again. When I went in the oil patch, then that's when they started the library here, and there was Susan. And I would say to Susan, I'm going north. She'd say, okay, get this bag and fill it with books, and I'm away. But the most wonderful thing they ever did was I could get a box of books from Susan, read them and turn them in Tuck or wherever there was a library. And boy, that made it.
And when I looked at the index at the back, it lists, in my opinion, roughly 600 names to the year 2000 when the book was published, who have contributed in some way or form to make the Barrhead Library what it is, so that the thank yous for the kind of library that we have today, which is top-notch, goes to not one person, not a half a dozen, but to 600 individuals over the years that have made this library tops in Alberta.
My children love to read. The youngest son passed away, and he had 180 books. Most of them are here, but they all loved to read. They were raised to read, and I don't think any town in Alberta has had a library like we've had, and the one we started with and where it is now. I do not believe. You talk to people and they'll say, well, you got a library. Yes, a public library. Everybody uses this library. We are so lucky.
After 25 years living in Jubilee, I had a nasty fall and was sent to the lodge with a walker. Janice from the Barrhead Library for years brought books to me, and she brought me books upon books, and I was very happy about that. I wasn't at the lodge very long, and I fell again. And this time I broke my thigh pretty badly. And I was spent 2 months in the Barrhead Hospital, right, Debbie? Yeah, that's right. That I went back to the lodge, and there came Janice. Bless her heart. She was just so good to me. I was so glad to see her and all those wonderful books that she always brought, and I'm sure she brought every one of them was good.
Now, I want Inga to tell you, how many books have I read since COVID?
Just about 500.
I don't sleep very good. But a book, oh, it doesn't matter what it is. If it's one that it's hard to get started in, put it down for a while. But the library, we are so lucky here to have the libraries that we do have. And the lady that used to haul the books around, she's in Klondike, and her mom and dad started in the old school. Yeah, Sutherland's. Mrs. Sutherland was a great lady. Mr. Sutherland was kind of a grouch. You'd know that. We've had a lot of good librarians.
Debbie takes me down most Tuesdays, and I look forward to visit the library each time. My daughter Teresa lives in Morinville and brings me books, usually once a week or so. And so then she passes them off to me, and and Debbie takes them down here, and I don't know where they go from there. So we've got a pretty good system going, and I'm so thankful to everyone who has helped me. Teresa surprised me. That's my daughter that was just here. She had the figures of all the books that I have read from the Barrhead and Morinville. 31, 34. I put wonderful. She's got 90,398 money saved, and I said good deal. And that's my thank you to you.
I was always interested in books, and when the opportunity arose, I became the representative of Barrhead on the Board of Education for the County of Barrhead. Part of that job was that the board appointed me as a representative to the Yellowhead Regional Library Board. It was started basically by Barrhead people. I guess the first person and the Yellowhead Board was Joe Smith. He was very supportive of libraries, and consequently he had connections with the municipal authorities in the region, and there were 5 counties, including Barrhead, that started and formed the Yellowhead Regional Library Board. When I came on board, we were just in the expansion stage. And later on as chairman of the board, we toured about 1/5 of the province to all the libraries and the library boards and the town councils and the city councils. And eventually we had every library in the region, public library in the region, is within the Yellowhead's jurisdiction. Now, the Barrhead Library has always been in the forefront and has had good leadership from the boards here and good staff. And I remember one of our staff was a person that really was interested in libraries and interested in people. And the kids used to call her what? Miss Susan? I think that's what they called her. We just called her Susan. And other people that came after that I remember was Yvonne Slemko, who did a fabulous job. And when I had completed my stay at Yellowhead, I returned to Barrhead, and we had great difficulty at that point getting people to volunteer for the library board in Barrhead, so I volunteered. And during that tenure, The new person as chairman was myself, and the new staff person was Elaine Dickie. So we have had good leadership because I just sat back and let her do all the work. And she has made such a wonderful library in the last, I'm sure it is pretty close to 25 years.
Yep.
And we were very, very fortunate to have someone of the caliber and the dedication that Elaine has had. Well, I wish that she will enjoy her retirement as much as possible. As someone that has been retired for a while, is that do everything you can, because after a while you can't do everything you want to do.
When we first talked about doing this video, we were doing it in remembrance of the fact that it's the 75th anniversary of Barrhead Public Library. And we wanted to tap into some of the remembrances of some of the people who have been here the longest and have used our library. And it wasn't really hard to figure 3 people that we felt had had an impact on Barrhead Public Library. So when we chose Ruby, and Phil Follett is absent today because he was ill, and we have Herman Barkemeyer and Alvin Gross, each one of them had a way of contributing to what Barrhead Public Library became. Alvin was very important to the administration through Yellowhead and the board chair for our library. Herman was the first person I ever saw bring suitcases in to get books out and made sure that he never left without them full, and I had to carry them all over and unload them. And Ruby has been reading since she was a little child when there really wasn't even a library to read from. And so all of these people have had a very special impact on all of us. And I'd like to take a minute to say thank you for giving your time to this video today. But more importantly, thank you for supporting the library. Libraries work when people use them. It's nice to have a bunch of books, but a library becomes a library when the people take and become part of it. And each of you in your own way has said how important these books and the library staff have been to you over the years. So from Barrhead Public Library, as a friend of the library, as part of the library board, I just want to say thank you for making Barrhead Public Library as special as it is, because each of you are very special to all of us. Thank you very much for being here today, and we hope that everybody who's here will have a chance to see it, and we'll make sure that our 3 stars all get a copy for themselves. They can show it to whoever they like. But thank you for being superstars for our library. Thank you.
What's the one book that everyone should read?
Well, probably my last one.
Which is the best book you ever read? I'd say the first one,
Yeah.
because it just carried on.